Hello, this is my final keynote presentation for the class. Um, just a little bit of something I want to add is that I have been dealing with pneumonia for a week, bronchitis for 2 weeks, and a cold for 4 weeks. So if this is not my best work, it's because I've been so sick all week and I've been slowly trying to get this done. So I wanted to share something near and dear to me, which is my testimony. So here it is. So my testimony by yours truly, Jennifer Ann Gross. And there's me, ain't I cute? Ugh. Early life facts about me. I was born in New Orleans, Louisiana on May 26, 1983. My mom was raised Catholic, and my dad was confessed to be an atheist. Domestic violence was a part of my home life as long as I can remember. My mom didn't get away from it until 1998, 1999, when we first started coming to church. My father nearly killed my mom in front of me. I was in kindergarten, and I remember them arguing, and they were fighting over me. During my early childhood years, I was uncontrollable and developed a weird sense of humor. I remember that I was the kid in school that teachers probably prayed I'd stay home that day because I used to find joy and try to find different ways on how to torment them. So there's our street in New Orleans. I believe it's 9th Street and Chapatuis, which is right alongside. It's like I looked it up on Google Maps. There's a lot of industrial. And there I am. I must have been about 2. And I wanted to add this picture because my dad, you see him with a cigarette, and I'm in a bar sitting on his lap. So, as a kid, I always loved being the center of attention. Over here where the star is, you see me making a goofy face. And I just want to show a little bit of this video because it shows my young personality.
Hi. Hi, how you doing? What's your name? My name is Jennifer.
Go over by Jenny and things. And that I can get you. That's Melissa. Let's get up here.
On the outside, everything seemed okay. But on the inside, I was dying. See, my parents, the only thing they let me do as a kid was be a Girl Scout. Everything else I always heard was too expensive. So I enjoyed Girl Scouting from an early age. Here we are feeding the ducks, which is now illegal and not allowed to do so. Here I am coloring. I believe this is Heritage Day in Easton. First grade, tried to draw this little heart over here on the left, but I can't draw to begin with. So heart Corey began to surface in my life. So heart Corey became pretty strong in my life when I got older. This is a picture of me in first grade. As you can see, my dress is a Christmas dress, and I was poor because my dad squandered all his money in the bar rooms. But Anyway, I put this heart here because when I was a teenager, I was asked to draw out. Heart Corey was my altar when I was a teenager. And one of them, anyway. And I was asked to draw him. And he had a heart-shaped body and my dad's head. So, very significant. So, after first grade, second grade came, and yeah, I was known as a problem child. But then by third grade, I started to see something was really wrong. I used to bark like a dog under the table and try to bite the teacher and scream out for no reason. So they put me in special education and labeled me. They don't even use this special education anymore. But it was socially and emotionally disturbed. Um, so the picture on the left is a magnet I made while I was there. It's actually hanging on my mom's fridge still. And the picture on the right, I think, was about 8. So 2 years later, even though I think the picture here with the car, it was the first day of 5th grade because it was my brother's first day of kindergarten. But 2 years later of being in special education, I started to act normal, and so something was. They thought, well, let's put her back into general ed, general population. So on the right here, playing the saxophone. So while being in general ed, I had become a pariah in everything I've tried to do. I incorporated a picture here. I think this was Scout Sunday. I was taking offering. I was high involved in the church I was a part of. I was a UCC raised, and I loved being in the band, in the middle school band. There's another video. I think this is Scout Sunday. Fast forward. Oh no, this one is my brother's. This one is my brother's 3rd birthday. I put this in here. He was 3. He was about 9. So you could kind of see how I had a delay of a speech because I didn't talk when I was younger, and you can kind of see the attitude I had. We go to the beginning here.
Turn around, Jason. Jason, hold it up and let mommy see it. Give me Bugs Bunny. Dude, a Bugs, boy. He's in bad shape. JJ, show your mommy. Turn around. Let me see. Jason, look at mommy. Jason.
Don't touch her screen. Just show mommy your Barney underwear.
Okay. Next. 9th grade, so I kind of fast forward to here. I went through middle school. I was the pariah. I was always made fun of. And I had a lot of issues. Excuse me. I had a lot of issues, and Heart Corey surfaced in 8th grade, the end of 8th grade, and he started along with, at the time I only had 4 altars, and they would come out in periods of school, and by 9th grade, I was a pretty mess. I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder and dissociative identity disorder, which is formerly known as multiple personality disorder. I was told I would never ever be able to function outside of an institution. So this is me in 9th grade. I missed so much school. and I missed picture day and I missed picture retake day. So I remember I had to get a picture for an ID, and I had to go to the library for it. And this picture is very blurry because of the quality, but I remember the librarian said to me, "Aren't you going to smile?" And I said, "I had nothing to smile for." So this is my hospital bracelets, some of them that I kept. And this is an RUW, which is, I forget what it stands for, but it's basically for people that are in danger of failing. And this was in 8th grade. Up until 8th grade, I was a straight A student. But here it's dated like May of 98. And I'm in danger of failing at like 68%. And this was because the teachers used to use me as a classroom punishment, and the kids would make fun of me so bad that I didn't really stand up for myself. So this doctor's note here on the left, my 9th grade year was pretty much a blur. But that is typical of people with dissociative identity. The image to the left is a photo I took about a year ago. I was at the doctor, and I was bored waiting, and I left my file on the table next to me, and I was waiting for him to come back, and he was taking a long time. So I got bored, so I paged through my file, and I found this note. So I was in a psychiatric hospital 6 times in 9 months. Everything was hopeless. So as you see here, it says, out of hospital Wednesday, 9:30. After 10 days, post-traumatic stress disorder, I had a cold. And then it says in hospital, 698, 898, and Paxil, this is the meds, Risperidol, etc. So high school came, and I found Jesus in between 9th and 10th grade. How I found Jesus was the funeral of my future brother-in-law. He married his brother. So this is a photo of my high school transcript, which is testimony to God's great power. So the little piece here next to the words was my 9th grade year, and you see they only gave me this little bit because they were afraid to give me a full course load. And then to the right, you see I was a part of all this stuff. I was on drama club, I was in the yearbook, National Honor Roll, where I worked, and you can see my credits. They weren't the greatest. I think my disability kind of fried my brain. I went from being a straight A student, and it's something I kind of struggle with to this day, is I can't seem to pass, for the most part, being a C student, sometimes a B student. I'm lucky if I get to be an A student, but I think it's because of the what my brain has went through with the dissociative identity. So a little animation there. Boom, boom. Okay, so then I couldn't find the original picture, but this is a tombstone here of my brother-in-law. He died, and the picture directly next to it is a comparison of me like a year ago compared to me in 99. You can see the hopelessness in my face. This is a picture from this is a picture from June 2nd, 1999, or when I first went to City Limits, which is my church. And this is just a picture of them laying hands on my future in-laws because they just lost their son at 15. He got hit by a car. And you see the hopelessness, blank stare. And then me in the red was a year ago, and I had joy back to my life. So this is my first immersion baptism. I was baptized as a kid, but we all know what that means. So my mom and my brother are directly in the center of the photo. Behind my brother is the little guy. My mom's holding a very old-fashioned 35mm camera, and I'm in a green shirt. Pastor's directly to my left. But this was the first time I had got immersion baptized. This was like June, I want to say 21st, 1999. So then, high school graduation, I was hopeful for my future. So I had received this award from my church, because even as a teenager in the church, I was doing a lot of things. I've always been known to be kind of an old soul. And I think it's because of the alcoholism in my father and stuff. I was kind of pushed to maturity. And then I made the Honor Society, which, with my disability, I don't know how, but I did. This is the Honor Society with, through school, which is DRF. But I couldn't make it to the ceremony. I think I had something to do with the church. Church has always come first. So my high school graduation had a cast on because I have also had flat feet, and that year I turned 18. And then I turned 19 in May, right before graduation, but I was able to make the decision to correctively surgical fix, and I don't think they really fixed it, but that's why I'm wearing a cast. So college after high school fail. So I went directly from DRF High School into, back then, it was was a Valley Forge Christian College. It was 2002, 2003, and I left October 2003. So this is a picture I took a little while ago because I wanted to show people when I first came back to Valley Forge of how God has worked in my life. So you see 2002, 2003. Yeah, I never went to class, never did any of the assignments. And then 2002, 2003, I scored, what's a D minus? Excuse me. And, this is what's pulling down, like, right now. But I believe God wants me to restore things. So I went back to Valley Forge, and I'm very grateful that Valley Forge has given me a second chance. So going back to this, I was not mentally prepared for the real world. I was kind of living through high school like this on a cloud, feeling like, didn't really have anybody to tell me, you should try to do this, this, and this. So then I was failing at VFCC. I actually was pursuing a boy, but that didn't happen, so I failed. So I came home and I went to work in a restaurant, Chi-Chi's, and I was depressed because I knew God had more for me. So in summer of 2004, I got inspired by a little boy I was working with in the elementary school at the time. And everybody was like, you have a knack for kids like this, with special needs, nonverbal, traumatic brain injury, and some other stuff. So he was my inspiration. And I went back to school to go for special education. So, yeah. So, it took me a while. I rededicated my life to Christ and my church in 2012. There were some things going on in my life. My episodes were rearing their ugly head again. It was stressful, but here is a picture when I graduated. It was 2014, 2013, my diploma. And then I did get hired in daycare, but just one thing and whatever. About 14 months of working for them, I got fired because a lady I worked with, somebody I worked with, told the director I was going to throw a kid through a wall, which I never said. But I walked out of there, went back to another daycare, and then I had quit that daycare. But in 2015, this is when I quit my full-time job. It was September 2000. It was actually the end of August. I quit my full-time job to volunteer in my church. About 6 months later, they decided to pay me a little something. So now I'm a full-time paid ministry. So this is the acceptance letter to Valley Forge's acceptance certificate, I guess. This is me. I had shaved my head over the summer, so I have like little to no hair. But I was leading VBS in the top right, and the bottom left was a couple weeks ago. I actually had pneumonia then, and this is how hard of a worker I am, I push through it, and I'm the photographer, amongst other things. So God is so good. Here's a certificate. We did this little like volunteer appreciation thing a couple weeks ago. So that's that. I did this little thing, a tower. We call it the tower, but I did the pro presenter thing in the church. I did want to show you two things because it kind of goes hand in hand with our church. And there's news coverage. This one, I believe, I added the turkey outreach we did, and this one, I believe, did the tree outreach because part of my job in the office at the church is PR work, and I had to do all the press releases for it and stuff. I have too many tabs open. I hope they don't have an ad.
Hundreds of people lined up in the cold tonight, waiting for a big moment. They're not shoppers, and they weren't there for a sporting event. Instead, they came to get something they're going to need in a couple of days from people who saw that need and filled it. WFMZ's Joy Howe has more.
It's a day they wait for.
I come here every year.
We're cold. Lining up by the hundreds.
Since this morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, I was sitting right here.
Okay. Grateful for the little things.
You gotta wait it out, and I'm waiting on the hot chocolate. I know it's coming.
Hot chocolate! Grateful for the big things.
Something big so I could give to the family.
And now, the day they wait for
It's nice. I like it.
is finally here.
It's Turkey Day.
This is like our 20th year now.
For 2 decades, City Limits Church has advertised the ultimate doorbuster deal. Come for a short message. Leave with a free Thanksgiving meal.
Have a happy Thanksgiving. It's nice to have a turkey. It's not Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Here, no one is labeled as homeless or hungry, lonely or sad.
I don't care who they are. I don't care where they came from. I just want to wish them a happy Thanksgiving.
4,000 pounds of potatoes.
Right here, go to the end.
It's just a time to make sure every member of the family
You have a puppy? All right.
gets the message.
Hey, man, we love you, man. I want you to have a happy Thanksgiving.
We have a turkey here for you.
You won't find this kind of a deal on a Black Friday, but the people here told us they're going to remember it come Sunday.
Kind of cool.
I want to thank the people inside this church for reaching out for the people who don't have anything.
In Allentown,
Amen.
Joy Howe, 69 News.
So a little thing about that is these people, they wait outside for hours, some of them all day, since 5:30 in the morning for turkey. Now this is the tree outreach, which we did. It was a week ago Friday.
Christmas season is a season of giving, of course. And boy, was that evident tonight in Allentown, where a church, as it does every year, provided families with a little cheer and warmth. WFMZ's Jamie Stover has the story.
Good job. Thank you. Sometimes on the coldest of nights, you'll find the warmest of hearts.
I keep going up to everybody and telling them that there's jackets inside.
For people like Dorcas Torres, new to Allentown and the cold.
I moved from Florida.
Her husband and 13-year-old daughter migrated a month ago. They didn't have work until this week.
It's really sad when you see your daughter that needs some things and you can provide it. It's really sad.
But a mother will do anything for her young, and that's why she's waiting in this line, herself, without a coat.
Clothing, like the jacket, the coat, because we don't have, and the tree.
You'll find plenty of stories like hers in this line. Sierra Dobbins is also a mother.
I've spent days crying, but knowing that there is a God, I have faith. And this is where God brought me tonight, and I'm just full of joy. I'm so sorry. I'm going to start crying right now. I just had a baby, and we're blessed.
Here, just steps from Allentown City Limits Assembly of God Church, coats, sweatshirts, Christmas trees, all of it free.
It means everything to me. My baby gets to wrap the gifts, and we're gonna put them under the Christmas tree tonight. Without you guys, we probably wouldn't have had one.
I would say thank you. Thank you for doing this for people that need it. It means a lot because then I'm not going to be like cold.
Thanks to those warm hearts, that made it happen. Jamie Stover, 69 News.
Okay. So, yep. So where God has me now, I'm now happily married for 12 years to my friend from 1994. Him and I were known each other since 4th grade. His name is Danny. I have a daughter named Faith. She's 9. She's also in this picture. I've committed my whole life to serving God. And I am also a Brownie Girl Scout leader. So I kind of fulfilled my love for Girl Scouts there too. So I have these here as the last slide. The left is me in kindergarten, where all my problems started to surface. And the right was me when I took my family to Washington, D.C. 2 weeks ago. So you could see, transformation. And I would not be here if it was not for God. So, thank you very much for listening. And if you have any questions on any of it, feel free to email me. It's also my dream to fulfill this, to give my testimony on a bigger scale. And I have at actually the community college I graduated from. I have a couple times. But I want to give God glory in everything I do. Thank you.